Good evening. I don't have my head covered. So, I wanted to come and speak to clients and just in general about the most effective way to deal with enemies or spiritual enemies. Okay. What's the best plan of action to deal with them? And what spirit says about dealing with them. Okay. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you guys have a problem, y'all can contact me. Okay. Want to come and talk about the most effective way of dealing with spiritual enemies. And if a person is a enemy that is threatening bodily harm or other things, then you may want to contact the police or either have a gun on hand. I don't keep guns, but I will call the police, okay, and let the police know. But if you have a spiritual enemy, going back and forth and all of that, the most effective way is not, especially in 2023, you know what I'm saying? It's time for people to start living within their truth. Um, a lot of you guys have spiritual enemies that are very thirsty. They're very thirsty. They're desperate. They're scared. You don't want to mirror your spiritual enemy. The most effective way to deal with a spiritual enemy is through a big ritual quarterly. You can do your protection every single day. Protection and warding is somewhat the same thing, but just constantly repeating over and over and over again, constantly lighting reversal candle, reversal candle. Don't do that. You got to change your mindset about your enemies, change your mindset about them. If you are a follower of mine, then you already know that your enemies are beneath you. And I mean, honestly, all of our enemies are beneath us. And so the way that I deal with that is, like I said, quarterly. And what I do is I go to my darkest spirits and I do a big ritual. Nobody is mentioned specifically because when you start thinking that specific enemies have power over you, then they have power over you. You have the upper hand when people are constantly focused on you. You have the upper hand, not them. Okay. Nobody has time to every single day. Oh, I got to light this black candle. Oh, I got to do this every single day. No, you will burn yourself out. And then that is when the enemy is kind of almost feeding off of that negative energy. And that, the action that you take, do it quarterly, which means probably about 4 to maybe 5 times per year. And, you know, if you're like me, I have quite, I mean, I got more people that love me than hate me. But I have like, and I don't I don't even care to understand it. But nobody's, if it's somebody in particular, then I may mention it to my dark entities. But you getting dealt with on a level, on a non-personal level, especially when it comes to things that involve the workplace and money and competitors. Do one big ritual and sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of your life. And that's all of them. Any and all enemies. Boop. That's it. Quit giving them people your time. Seriously. So, for example, if I do a ritual this month against my enemies, I ain't got to do nothing else until June. That's 4 months from now. Then I'll do something in October. Otherwise, you can't, like, first of all, if you feel that people that don't like you have power over you, you done already been compromised within yourself. And it's all about who you go to. For me, I work with some pretty dark entities, and you want to be very specific about what it is that you do. Okay, when you speak to those dark entities, you shouldn't have to Monday through Sunday be at war with nobody. Okay, somebody start a war with you, you gonna finish it real quick. You know, like that's just like, you know, somebody gonna force you to do something, so that means that they're almost dominating you. Now there are other moves that you can make, like, for example, binding them with a puppet doll and things of that nature. Those are things that you put on a shelf, but you should go to your dark spirits and say, hey, any and all person that's trying to mess with my money, that's trying to mess with my love life, that's trying to mess with my personal well-being. And you got to go to the ones that are powerful. Okay, the ones that are powerful in combat, in spiritual combat. Otherwise, you'll just be candle after candle after candle after candle, and you just sitting there thinking, oh, you shouldn't even don't even think about them, because what they've done at that point, when you think about them too much, they have literally gotten in your head. Okay? And the reason why they want to go back and forth, because you don't effectively send some stuff back to them. Now at this point, you have to bind them. Your spiritual experience should not be about spiritual war. Like I said, somebody started a spiritual war with you, you finish it. Oh, okay, well, I see you trying to mess with me. I see you trying to mess with my family. I see you trying to mess with my physical well-being. You try listen. Do an effective, and see, this is how I deal with clients' enemies too. I don't just every single day just all like, oh, this, and because then at that point you are compromising yourself at that point. Now, obviously, depending on your religious and spiritual beliefs, depending on who you work with, I personally, for YouTube purposes, I work with Sir Nonos. Sir Nonos is a very powerful horned god. They call Sir Nonos like the witch's devil or whatever. It is what it is. You know, you can't just continuously allow yourself to be compromised. Protect your head, protect your heart, and just breathe through it. And you know, you ain't nobody got to do all that, going through all that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this so and so do this, and so and so do that. Yeah, they did that because they desperate. They desperate, and you are a threat to them. You are a direct threat to that person for whatever reason, meaning that you done already overcome. You ain't got to sing "We Shall Overcome." If you are a threat to anybody, you already won the battle. If you're a threat to the point where somebody just got to keep going and going and going and going and going, listen, ain't nobody got time for all that. We got to live life, don't we? Do an effective ritual, because what ends up happening is that if you do it too often, then it's almost like it starts to lose its power. Okay, it starts to now we all do. For me as a reader, I have a mirror and a black candle. I don't like being psychically attacked. Don't become weak in the game and be succumbing to psychic attacks. Fuck a psychic attack. I don't give a damn about no psychic attack. I'll eat a psychic attack for breakfast. Okay. You got to get like that because people will almost start to put you in bondage. Like, what? Like, I ain't about to sit up here. First of all, if you an enemy of mine anyway, you beneath me anyway. You're beneath me. Because I don't go around just starting mess with nobody. I got my mind focused on me and what's good for me. Okay, I don't care about none of that, none of that crap, none of that mess they talking at the end of the day. And that's how you deal with spiritual enemies. And just do your regular work. Clear yourself. Work on self. Clear yourself. Protect your head. Protect your family's heads. Do your other work. It's not every single day. Oh, my enemy, my enemy, my enemy. Man, that's what losers do. Who cares? Okay. It just is what it is. So, for example, if you have a problem with an enemy, I'm going to instruct you to maybe at first blast them the first 90 days. But then after that, if they somebody that keeps going and going and going and going and going, hit them up every 3 to 4 months. Blast them every 3 to 4 months. But do an effective enough ritual. I'm talking about to the point where you go into that dark energy and you manifest your darkness, your power, your warrior spirits, or whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, every single day you'll stay wrapped up and you ain't even living life. You're not even living life at that point. When do you get to live? When do you get to breathe? When do you get to actually enjoy life and heal yourself? You are always going to be wounded if you are fighting every single day. You're going to always be wounded. I was raised by Lena Briscoe, and that lady wasn't fighting with nobody. It was what it was. Fight with you for what? Over what? Over my energy? Now, some of y'all do have to deal with, the psychic vampirism, energy harvesting. That's understandable. That's very perplexing because after you fight with somebody for so long, then you start to lose your energy. Energetically, you start to feel run down. You start to become haggled. You start aging really fast at an accelerated rate. And as you can, if y'all notice, y'all enemies is aging fast. Okay. And it just is what it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And see, you may, like, a lot of people are afraid to deal with some of the darker, like the Goetia demons and stuff like that. You do what you got to do. You feel what you got to feel, but that's just what it is. And in that way, you can spend more time living life. Ain't nobody in this world that important or relevant to me to where I got to fight and argue and go back and forth with nobody every single day. Nobody. Okay? Nobody. So and then stop personalizing stuff with your enemies. Some of y'all got spiritual enemies that you will never see, never meet. It's the enemy. That's it. Okay? And, there's specific ways that you want to deal with that. Okay? You do not just stay caught up in that, because trust me, they caught up. You're running circles like Tweety Bird around their head while you're watching movies and chilling, eating popcorn. You know what I'm saying? And they constantly just and please stop feeling sorry for. I don't feel sorry for none of my enemies. I'm sorry. I can't feel sorry for you. I feel for me. I feel for my family. I feel for the people that I love. I feel for my husband. That's what I'm supposed to have feelings for. But my enemy, oh, you are so irrelevant to me and powerless. And you got to have that attitude. It don't matter what they do or what they say. Okay, so 2023, these backbiting, clout chasing, pocket watching people, they in trouble, especially over here. We don't play that mess over here. Okay. So we're going to do one big ritual. We're going to pull out our swords 4 times a week. I'm sorry, 4 times a year. Otherwise, our swords are going to be hung up on the wall for the next battle while we live in life and manifesting. Okay. So, and then that's how I deal with client enemies too. And it's very effective. If you have an enemy, okay, well, we're going to do this. We're going to do this ritual for 90 days, for the first 3 months, blast them. And then after that, we're going on a every 3 to 4 month schedule, if not less than that. And in that way, you can spend your money. You can spend your ends on, things more than, okay, guys, I'm sorry. You can spend your energy on something else because, don't nobody got time for that. Okay. Yes. Hey, divine inspirations. Hello. Hello. Otherwise, do your protection. Do your protection, which is the same thing as warding. If you got somebody trying to take your energy, have your anti-energy harvesting jar ready. Okay. If you feel like, and live life. Okay. Seriously. So, because you kind of look desperate and scared when you just constantly like, and I look at them just like this. Be like Vigo, Prince of Carpathia. You're like the buzzing of flies to me. Okay. I actually teach this jar to people. I actually teach this to people, so you can schedule 1 or 2 classes, individual classes, if you want to know how to do that jar. Yeah. Because a lot of my people that follow me are extremely powerful, extremely sought after. Their energy, their powers are sought after. You know what I'm saying? So you just, you schedule a class, and all of my classes are 50% off. Okay. So a 1-hour class, it's worth 120 for a 1-hour class, but right now it's $60 that you can pay per class because they're 50% off. Hey, that's what's up. Since my terry cloth days, I miss those days, but I love what I do right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just, so that's what I wanted to say about that. I hope everybody has a happy Wednesday. I'm going to go. I wish I could stay longer, but I got to go. Oh, since New Year's. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. I thought you meant like several years or 10 years. Okay. All right, you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. I will see y'all later. Okay. Don't forget to look at the readings that I did for the channel, by the way, too, in case you guys didn't get the notification. Okay. For a few years. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, welcome. I'm glad to see you here. Cool. That's what's up. I'm glad to see you here. I appreciate you guys. Okay, cool. Cool. 2019. Okay. All right. That's a good year. That's a good year. Okay, guys, I got to go. It's time for me I have an excellent work-life balance too, guys. I'm about to sit here and just drift off into a movie. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to get into it, okay? I'm gonna find something either on Netflix or HBO Max or something. I think I'm gonna get into that TV show called The Last of Us. I think I'm gonna try to get into that. So I'll catch y'all later. Okay. All right. Blessings. Bye.